Hey fam! We finally made it.
Technical difficulties galore.
Welcome to Twitch streaming at 12:24.
Is it 12:22?
That would be so amazing.
Oh, it's 12:23.
Damn it!
We did it on purpose for the alliteration, and then we were a minute late.
Well, hey everyone. As you might have guessed, you've probably seen this up, or you've maybe seen our website or Twitter or something where you can see our Drifters game. Welcome. Today's our official announcement that we're finally working on our IP. For those of you who've been following the stream for a long time, you know.
We did a small teaser before.
Yeah, we gave you like a little bit of a reveal, but as of today, we're going full-fledged. The most exciting part, maybe, we'll reveal in just a minute. To start with, I'm Dominic Camargo, your co-host for Twitch Twitch Tuesdays at 12. I was about to say 2 p.m.
It used to be 2. And I'm Mimi Black.
Hi, Mimi.
That's it. That's all I'm giving you.
Anyways, so today what we'd like to share with you is that our big thing from today, the reason we did all this for today, all the countdown, everything you've been seeing on social media, is all because we are in this month's issue of Game Informer.
Yes, they did an exclusive first look at us, and it's actually 6 pages.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah.
So we're very excited.
So for those of you who subscribe, or for those of you that maybe just want to pick up an article at your local GameStop, we'll be in this month's issue. You can find out more about the game in there. Obviously, we're going to start telling you a lot more here locally, but that's going to come over time. We have a ton of stuff to share with you. That's kind of what we've been working on. As you've been hearing the past several streams, it's like, we're working on stuff.
Right.
This has been a big part of it. So now we're finally excited to share this with you, as well as, go ahead.
Oh no, and then as the weeks go on, we're going to be doing more content here. We're going to start talking to more of the devs on the IP. And just so you know, if in case you didn't, this is our first ever IP, which is why we did the hype. We thought it was worthy.
So worthy, we're going to do champagne.
We've always done just working with other studios, porting, remasters, all that stuff. And so this is the first time we've actually branched out and are doing our own game. And we have some amazing people working on this game.
Yes.
That have some amazing credits, amazing history. Like Hayden and Dell that have...
you've already kind of seen them maybe, lurking in the shadows.
Yes. Well, Hayden's done...
Darksiders. He's best known for Darksiders.
And Dell has done the original Star Wars Battlefronts.
Which everyone loves.
And so those are 2 of our main guys. And then the rest of the team is amazing too. So we'd like to hear from you, like what positions, what team members you'd like to hear from. What devs would be jobs that you'd want to know more about, not necessarily just about the game, but like if you want to know more about animation, how that works, how to get into it. We want to focus on that stuff too in context of our new game so that you can kind of learn how do we develop as we develop.
So yeah, please tell us. We're going to bring on people for you in the next couple weeks, but for now, this is what we're hitting you up with. So cheers, Mimi, to a great launch for our company today.
No more secrets.
No more secrets. Actually, still several secrets.
Yes, still lots of secrets.
You might also notice that we're not coming to you from the Blur Vision 9000.
Oh yes, we changed the camera, which was one of the reasons why we were so fucking...
We have great new help. Eric, who's off camera today, is helping us a lot. He stepped in and powerhoused everything to get this all set up and looking nice, and we kind of have a set, as you can see.
The drifters.
And I walked in 5 minutes before the stream and literally wrecked it all.
Yes, he unplugged everything. And
so that's why we're at 12:23 p.m. I was so hoping for 12:22. That would have been so worth it.
So one of the other big announcements.
Wait. This is some nice ass champagne.
Yeah, this isn't bad.
This isn't that $5 J. Roger that you get on the bottom shelf at Sprouts.
Cooks.
Although I do like it. Oh, see, I can't do Cooks. Cooks is too far. Cooks is equivalent to Barefoot.
Yes, they're very similar. Mixed with some orange juice, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
As long as the secret is to start with something good, 1 or 2 glasses.
Yeah, and then you get to that. Yeah,
stuff,
then you get to the. That's why I always have the $5 bottles.
Yeah.
I bring the nice $30 to start with.
You just
and then
sucks when you wake up.
And then you pull the 1-2 switch.
Yes.
After everyone's done this. I'm sorry. Okay, and what else is exciting for today?
So one of our other big announcements that we had in the post that we did was a mention of the fact that this isn't just going to be a video game. It's also going to be a comic book series brought to you by Vault Comics, which is an amazing boutique comic book company. They do some great stuff, and we've got 4 guys working on this that are just super talented, fantastic guys. I got to sit in on the kind of world building summit with them, and it was fantastic and talented. They do a lot of stuff. And Vault Comics itself has some great titles. Wasted Space.
Oh yeah.
And there's one that I really want to do. Valkyrie. They've got some new titles that just sound amazing. And what was interesting too is that all these guys have their own comic books that they do for Vault Comics, their own series that they're the main writers on, and then they all freelance for other stuff. You know, like I see that Michael's doing, you know, one of the Star Wars issues recently, and Tim, whose flight was delayed, leaving here to go back to Chicago, was lamenting the fact that he was going to have to write the next Deadpool issue while waiting at 3 a.m. for his plane. So these guys have got, some amazing talent, and we have some really cool characters in our game. That's kind of one of the main pushes that we're doing for this game is quirky, weird, funny. This definitely got a sense of humor, the game does.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, you know, Mimi's been very humble about what she does with us, but, you know, Mimi's been a big part of the writing team for our IP, so she's been helping out with that. That's why she got to sit in with the narrative team from Vault. So there's a lot of fun stuff. Again, I think all of us in the studio, we're not very much interested in the serious games. I'm not saying maybe down the road, but just if you were to come to the studio and meet all of us, we're whatever the furthest opposite from serious is. I don't know for sure. I myself...
Not serious.
Yeah. Aced it. We see a question today about if we're going to see gameplay. Unfortunately not, but we're gonna... It
will be coming in the coming weeks.
Yeah,
we're going to get someone that actually knows how to play the game. We've got some people that kick ass at it.
Yeah. We see a question now asking about our beautiful character here, Resistor, noticing that maybe he looks like someone from Overwatch. That definitely isn't the case in terms of the inspiration or anything like that, but the game as a whole, obviously Overwatch is a very big game, and considering this game is a shooter that's team-based with unique characters, obviously there's some influence from Overwatch, but in no way are we just like trying to say like, hey, let's just take Overwatch and put our own skin on it. Right. That's not at all what this game is about.
One of the taglines for it is Loot the Galaxy, which is kind of one of the themes where we're going around and looting different, ships, different different worlds and stuff like that. And you have a team that you are trying to get as much loot as possible.
Yeah. Your intergalactic ragtag team of raiders.
Yes.
So basically, actually, why don't we go into the game for a bit? So,
well, can you pull up the full poster so they can see this character? This is Resistor.
Yeah.
And we disappeared.
It's okay. He's got it. But basically, what we're going into, right? Like, we're gonna just show you some stuff from the game. So this is Resistor. This is what our basically a big part of the concept isn't just his quirky characterness. Everyone's going to have the ability to drift around, so all of our characters are going to have some unique movement ability.
Well, and it's a grapple-based game, so everyone has a grapple, and you're flying around a lot. But there's a lot of really unique abilities with this, and they've all got a lot of different abilities. But when we interview Dell's going to be our interview for next week. We're going to be doing a Squirrel Spotlight on Dell, and he will go into these characters a lot more, and the gameplay and the abilities. That's going to be stuff that we go on talk about in the weeks. Yeah,
we're going to show you a few more screenshots. Like I said, unfortunately, we don't get to see gameplay. We just saw another question about someone asking if the game's going to be in VR. Currently not. I don't think there's a plan for that at all. We're going to hit PC and console for this. It's definitely going to be a third-person arcade action and shooter. We're not going into more of the Twitch shootery type. We're not going to be super competitive, but we're also not making it where it's just free fun, super easy arcade knockout. We're aiming for somewhere in the middle, and again, Hayden and Dell are going to shed a lot more light on that.
Can you go back to the screen with us?
I just also, in the transition, another question about the art style being based on Borderlands. This is concept. So in-game will look very different. The game's not going to be cel-shaded. And in fact,
with our big poster that we have in the office.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask if we can switch to the in-game screenshots. I know you just said to switch back to here. but we have in-game screenshots that we can show.
Oh,
You think
okay.
we could go
Well,
through?
and I was going to say too that this character is called Resistor, and he's a punk rock robot, resisting the machine.
Oh!
Yes. And so he's kind of a funny character. They all are. They're all very unique. You wanted to go those?
Yeah, so, sorry, Eric, I know we're making you jump around, but can you go ahead and swap over to some of the other in-game screenshots? But yeah, no, so art style is completely different. It's obviously unique. We're not, this is in-game. You can see, like, obviously it's a stylized sense of art, but this is out here, this is off the edge of one of our main maps here, but the idea, again, is that you're in space. The map that you're gonna see a lot today is this map where there's this basically derelict spaceship floating around, and these two teams of intergalactic raiders show up and they vie for finding the most loot. And so it'll be 5v5. You can of course have different characters, and you're all competing in the same element to get the most resources, basically, or the most loot. I apologize.
Yes, and different loot. There's different types of loot, and the different types get you different things, advance you in certain aspects.
Yeah.
So, but this is all stuff that will be better explained by our devs throughout the weeks.
We want to share with you. Today is just a tease, so we're not going to tell you the whole picture. We want to just get you enough information to where you can see what we've been working on. And there's going to be a lot more to come.
And we're definitely not done with the game yet.
Yeah,
so
absolutely not.
This is truly a teaser. What we have is awesome. We have a good beginning.
And in fact,
that's Resistor also. That
picture. This picture's Resistor. If we go to the next one, that'll be one of the. I believe we're in front of the Vault here, actually, unrelated to Vault comics. So this one is a little bit more of a kind of action shot. You can see up there that pink blob. That's Ziggy, who's one of our characters. You got Sum on the bottom left, who you're going to see definitely more of in the coming weeks. And then, of course, right there with the back facing us, that's Resistor. And then off to the right is another character. That's going to be Zola over there. So,
Zola.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot more about these characters. Right now, they're inside this derelict ship. They're currently fighting over what looks to be the vault area. I actually could be wrong, but there's a vault area that contains a lot of loot that they're working over.
And they, in the Game Informer article that just came out today, that they have a cool spread on some of our characters that we're starting with. I think it's 6 of them.
I think there's 6 mentioned in there.
I think it's 6 mentioned. And so they kind of go into
it might just be 5, actually.
Their stats and abilities and kind of a little bit of their background. And then
we had some good questions real quick, actually. So someone's asking if the game's going to be single-player campaign or if it'll be multiplayer only. Currently, the plan is multiplayer only. Right now, we're still figuring out the full details in terms of what the game's going to be like and everything like that. Currently, we can tell you that it's going to be free-to-play. So that's a big part of this. But right now, it's intended for multiplayer only. Single-player might come on depending on, who knows what. But right now, the plan is for multiplayer only.
Yeah.
Further, someone was asking on the platform specifically. I mean, currently, we would want all major consoles, but I can't go into detail on specifically what we're going to target. But we definitely are making the game work with. Right now, we're making the game work with both mouse and keyboard as well as controller. Someone's asking. I said the word vault. Is it like a bank heist? That's actually not a bad way to conceptualize it.
I actually don't know. I don't know what the
vault is.
I don't know what the vault
Mimi
is.
hasn't seen that part.
I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah.
See, we're putting stuff in there at a rapid pace right now. We are just
Well, just being devs, if I may, you see different parts of the game.
Right.
Mimi being in writing, she's not as familiar with the some of the mid to late to in-game gameplay. Whereas myself being a dev who's doing engineering stuff, I see a lot more different parts. So I'm actually not as familiar with all the character background and story as she is with that. And to the same token, I'm much more familiar with some of the gameplay components because that's what I've been working on in my day-to-day. So we just have, obviously, we've coordinated and we have enough to be able to tell you what the game's about. But some of the detailed questions, that's why someone like Hayden, our creative director, or Del, our lead designer, are going to be able to tell you the full picture.
Right.
Much easier. But to answer the question, the vault is not so much sneaky. That's the biggest difference from the bank heist. You're not trying to actually break into it and get away from the cops. You're trying to get to the vault and get there first before the other team does, and try and steal all the loot inside the vault before the enemy team has a chance to get to it.
Oh, Eric, will you go back? We should have a small one at the corner.
Oh, which one?
No, just
Oh, okay.
for next time.
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and actually go to the next screenshot, which I believe is going to be another one of our characters. Yeah. So this is actually this is a little bit kind of a close-up of Zola. You can obviously see her, but she's drifting in space.
She's featured in the article. Like
Yeah.
she's the first page of the article is going to be Zola.
Yeah, and you can also see that the spaceship in the background there. There's definitely going to be a lot more about the spaceship in the coming weeks. Again, where the reason the spaceship is important, you can kind of see along the broad side of the ship, it has like tubes. And that's basically how the raiders kind of like get themselves onto these derelict ships.
They
and
launch themselves from them,
Yeah, and so it's a whole mechanic actually based in like how the game and the match starts. So the ship is actually really central to gameplay. And how like the raiders all know each other is actually from the Exile's Return bar, correct?
Yeah,
Like-
Exile's Return.
Oh, just
The bar.
excuse me, not bar.
Team rating.
Right, team rating, no bar. But they hang out at this place called Exile's Return, where you can maybe pick up their favorite cocktail.
Right, it's kind of based on the Deadpool bar of mercenaries and stuff like that. And so that's where they get all their assignments to go out and loot the galaxy.
So the team together, right? You'll get on your spaceship and you're gonna go and loot stuff. So this is them in space, flying around. And then let's see, what did we have for our last one? I think our last one was actually a close-up of Sumo. Can you go ahead and switch to that one, Aaron? You can see one more of our characters. I deliberately didn't pick one that showed his face. I wanted there to be some tease of what we still have going on. So in this one, he's kind of doing a charge-up shot at you, like.
Oh yeah, he has a cannonball hand that he calls Mrs. Copperbottom. He talks to it.
Yeah. So again, all of our characters have their own little bit of quirky sense. You'll all see this in the coming weeks, coming months. We're going to reveal a lot more to you and give you a lot more background information, especially from the people who've created the characters directly. Again, the artists, the designers, our writers, they have all had a great hand in doing all of this.
Right.
And then, of course, gameplay will have stuff to show you definitely in the coming weeks and months. So that's kind of the in-game stuff we wanted to show you. So we hope you enjoyed taking a look. And again, there's still a lot more content in the Game Informer article. Like for those of you who have Game Informer or again just are interested, like
it's the digital ones today, but then it's hitting newsstands also. It's starting to get shipped out this week, so it should be on newsstands soon. I'm excited to get my hands on a copy.
Yeah.
But it was a bigger spread, at least in the digital
Yeah.
subscription. It was bigger than we expected. So thank you, Game Informer.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
Cheers to Game Informer.
Yeah. So again, we're really hoping that you guys have questions that you want to know about it. Please start asking, and then if we can answer them today, we will. And if not, we'll get the people who know how to answer them.
Yes, and we'll have them on in the following weeks.
Yeah.
To do interviews.
You'll see in the article, we're slated to release sometime in Q4 of this year, which really means anytime from the ending of this calendar year to the beginning of next calendar year. And like I said, we're targeting all console platforms as well as PC. And yeah, there's just a lot to there. Again, it's going to be free to play, so you'll be able to jump in at no cost to you. And check it out. So there's going to be a lot more characters to come. There's going to be a lot more. We haven't even shown you all the characters that even Game Informer has. So even more reason to pick up Game Informer.
Right.
And check out all the characters, stuff like that. So yeah. Again, through the stream, if you guys have any more questions, but definitely this is just what we wanted to share with you today. This is where we're at. This is where we've been. Right here. This whole business.
It's hitching. Is it hitching live?
Oh,
sorry. Sorry.
We'll fix it one day. Oh, we
when
forgot
did we
to,
get this right?
after the last stream, remember Mike sent us that thing?
Oh,
it's
good.
check
It was working until we had to switch the capture cards.
Until Dom
until
broke
I
it.
messed it up. Hey, at least it's more than just that capture card. El Gato, I have a word to say. I might get in trouble for that. Whatever.
Just don't say what the word was.
Yeah, exactly. So that's fun. For anyone else who's following current pop culture, you might also notice that today is March 4th.
March 5th.
It's the champagne.
You've had half a glass. It's not the champagne.
Silence!
Which means it's Mardi Gras.
Woo!
So,
I forgot my beads.
Cheers. Oh. I'm not giving you any.
That's not what I meant.
I don't want to know.
I mean, I would do it though. I'd get beads. I'd earn beads the right way. No, yeah, so today, of course, is Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday.
which is a great place to get frozen slushy drinks, as well as is an actual holiday. Well, not holiday. Actually, probably in Louisiana it is a holiday.
Oh, it's big. Yeah.
But I don't know, if anyone's celebrating, Mardi Gras, feel free to reach out. We haven't had our King's Cake yet. Normally we usually
do a King's Cake. And last year we did a full parade through the office.
Yeah, that was super
which
fun.
some people were very happy about.
We literally had like someone playing trombone, someone was playing saxophone.
Yeah, we found people in the office that used to, in their youth play horn instruments and saxophone, and so we got them to play when the Saints Go Marching In while Dom conducted through the office.
I was the drum major.
So it was a slight disturbance to work hours.
The force. Yeah, but this year we've been so focused on this, we kind of said, okay, we'll do Mardi Gras next year.
Mm-hmm.
But we did want to say, like, hey, it's Mardi Gras. Like, it's a fun time. I haven't celebrated myself personally, but I don't know if you have any plans to go out and have a hoo-ha time.
Just to get drunk by myself tonight.
So, for those that are...
another question.
Yeah, excuse us. Great, no, big question.
Will the game contain microtransactions? If so, are there going to be skins and cosmetical or will you be able to buy weapons and such?
Great question. So, the best answer I can give you is that, yes, there will be microtransactions, being a free-to-play game. We still would like to make money off of the game.
But we also, Hayden mentioned in the article that although we're doing transactions, there's not going to be anything that you can't get through gameplay alone.
Right. Yeah.
There's not going to be, we're not forcing you to pay for anything to get something special. You can earn it either through money, the fast way, or you can earn it through actual gameplay.
Yeah, there's not going to be special weapons locked behind a paywall. It's just all about how much you play the game and how that system ends up working out. Obviously, we have early implementations of that system. We're going to refine that over the course of the next several months. Like, again, we're really in the early stages of the game. Well, not early stages, but, we still have a lot of work to do, I should say. And so, like, as we become more solidified on what that process will be, we'll definitely share it with you. But definitively, as Mimi said, like, nothing's behind a paywall that you can't also get by just doing gameplay. We very much understand that environment, and being this not the full-scale AAA title as maybe some other studios, like, we definitely understand and listen a little bit differently, and, are, quite frankly, we're looking for a little bit of that market that knows, like, hey, look, you're going to play the game, you should be rewarded for playing the game.
Right.
If you don't have the time, feel free to pay for those types of things. Yeah, so we totally get that. And so great question. Keep them coming, team. Mimi, also Fat Tuesday, in some cultures, that means it's also the start of Lent.
You mean in Christian cultures?
Yeah, as it turns out.
Yes.
Are you giving anything up for Lent?
Yes, I'm giving up things for Lent.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
I'm not giving up anything.
Yeah, well, same.
Yeah. No, that's great, yeah. Anyways, we hope you're having a fun Mardi Gras. So again, kind of what we had planned for the rest of today was kind of just to like take your questions. We figured there'd be a lot. We've obviously been having an onslaught of questions so far, so keep them coming. Again, the other thing that Mimi...
I'll bring up too. If you guys want to sign up for updates, we have a site up right now for Drifters, driftersgame.com. And you can just put in your email and we can do email updates for the game.
We have some more great questions coming in. So someone asked, what is the target for how long the average game will take to win or lose? Fantastic question. We're aiming for 15 minutes, like max. Like, you might have a game that takes 5 minutes, but we're really hoping somewhere in between that 10 to 15 minute range, with 15 being the max. We want you in and out, basically. There's a lot of shooters out there, and just in general, team-based games right now that, like, you can spend 20 minutes at a minimum. We're aiming for a much quicker experience, and we still think it'll be just as fun and explosive action. So we really like that. Mimi, you want to take the next question?
Open world, or is it loading screen? It's not open world right now, is it? No, it's not. You can get knocked off the map. That's one of the ways that you can die. So yeah, it's definitely not open world.
In terms of loading screen hell, I mean, obviously being in the game industry, we're going to optimize things as much as possible. We don't want to keep you in loading screens any more than we want to get them there. To be clear, right, being devs, right, if you're in a loading screen on a released product for, let's say, 3 minutes, that means we're in that loading screen for probably a lot longer time since we're debugging the game. So if we have a loading screen that's too long, like trust me, we're going to do everything in our power to get that as short as possible, the loading screen. We don't want to be there any longer than you want to be there. So all that to say, yeah, like it'll definitely be, you know, match by match basis. So yeah, loading screens will be involved, but that's definitely the format of the game. The game is definitely like you get your team together, you go play a match, and then that's that. You know, more of the details in terms of like how matches progress and like can you stay with your team, that'll all be details to come. Hayden or Dell or someone else will have more to say on that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have more people in here to talk about these specifics.
We can actually say again, this is something, sorry, another question came in. How many characters are you going to have, or can you even say? The article talks about this.
Okay, good.
So,
then I can't say.
Yeah.
We're starting with 8.
Correct.
But we have, you know, plans to expand. We hope to, you know, go
with
and introduce more characters as we go along.
With it being a free-to-play game, there's going to be live support. So whenever we release this game, we're still going to be working on it for the months to come, adding improvements, getting your feedback, taking care of, you know, what our players like and don't like. You know, we want to hear everything. But part of that also, of course, involves new content. So we have right now scheduled for release 8 characters, and, you know, we're going to definitely be adding more once the game releases.
We definitely have more on the docket. We have plans for more. We have a bunch of cool stuff lined up. And, you know, we said that we're not very, you know, far along, or I can't remember what you said.
Well, we're not in the early stages, but we still have a lot of work to do.
We've been working on this for a couple years, which is exciting. But that just, and so we have quite a lot of content, but we just have a lot more that we want to do. So.
Another question came in is, will those extra characters be microtransactions?
I can't answer that.
Yeah, we don't know off the top of our heads.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Like Hayden, like when Hayden comes on, like we'll definitely take notes of these questions. Like Hayden and Dell are going to be the people that answer these questions.
Yeah, Eric, will you save that question?
They're going to be the ones who have a little bit more of the knowledge of like the just the ecosystem that exists in the game. It's an evolving ecosystem, which is why we can only answer so much.
Right, it could change.
You know, honestly, guys, like the way game industry works, like games come out and like they just impact everything. So like for those of you, for instance, that might be playing Apex Legends, right? That game has a huge impact on like, you know, right now the free-to-play market, right? So like it would be stupid of us not to look at that and understand what they're doing and, you know, make sure that we're in line with what makes sense for the market. Right? Like we can't just come out, you know, and say like, well, all characters are going to be, you know, this much money and you're going to have to invest this much in order to play the game, right? Like we've learned from other companies, you know, quite frankly, mistakes, you know, in the past of like having a big paywall or just locking content behind, you know, I think a classic example in some games that they did, right, is they'd release expansion packs that were premium and they would divide their player base. You'd have the whole player base that had the base game, and then there's a premium expansion pack, but that wasn't free content. So because of that, you split your player base.
Right.
And I think even companies that have done that have learned that lesson now, which for me is all just a really long way to say, you know, we have to pay attention to the ongoing market. And again, right now with games coming out like Apex, and not just Apex, but any game, like, you know, we just need to pay attention to that. So the ecosystem for our game is going to be evolving, like the economy, basically. So we'll definitely tell you what we can. Right now, that's really early for myself and Mimi to say. That'll be something that Hayden and Dell can comment on a little bit more. I feel like I cut you off. Did you have something to say for that?
Probably, and now I forgot.
It's because I talk too much. That's all my fault.
It's okay.
It's all my fault. Something else, again, and what I was going to cover a minute ago was that Mimi briefly mentioned earlier, you know, we're going to be doing our Scroll Spotlight series again. Mm-hmm. That's something that we're going to pick back up. We had to stop it just because a lot of our people ended up working on Drifters, and then we wanted to save Drifters because we were going in Game Informer and then all this. So now, so now that all that's out, we're going to be strongly picking up, we're strongly going to pick up that series again. And like for next week, we'll bring in our lead designer, Dell.
Right.
And he'll come and sit down.
And then we've got, like I said, we've got other people, you know, that we want to bring in, like our lead animator, our character artist. But if there's a specific role that you would like to learn about in game development, let us know.
Yeah, artists, we have it all.
Engineers, design, Derek would be a good one, bringing on like a level designer.
Artists, you've already met Isaiah, who's done our QA.
There's so many people to choose from. So, what was that question?
Oh yeah, the question was, will ships be randomly generated? So we were talking about the ship that the exiles get on,
Right.
basically from the bar. From the exiles' return. The short of it is no, they're not going to be randomly generated, at least right now. I don't think there's plans. Well, I shouldn't say at least right now. There's no plans to make them randomly generated. I'm not sure of customization options. But at the very least, all the ships have the same format, and a big part of that, of course, is just because you have the 5v5 mechanic, and so each side of the ship has 5 launcher tubes. Is that the technical term, launcher tubes?
Oh, launcher tubes. That's all I can think that they're called right now, actually.
So that's the big part of that, right? So the ships being randomly generated, not so much. They're going to have a personality. Like, I actually think the ship is going to be talked about in the comic, I believe, maybe. A lot of the components you'll see have character, personality, background that we're going to build out. Obviously, it being a 5v5 shooter, it's not like we're going to throw you in the shooter and you're going to have this whole backstory that you have to read, cutscene of 5 interactions before gameplay starts. But the gist of it will be the characters will say stuff to each other and they'll have their own interactions because they've worked together, or maybe they've fought against each other, or a number of different scenarios. So we just want the game to have a little bit more depth, especially when you get into a match-based shooter that's kind of hard to build. Obviously some games have done that, but we still want our own little quirky universe that we have that exists.
Very quirky.
Yeah, that matches the studio.
Yeah.
We're quirky.
Yeah, it's very the tone of the whole game and the comics and everything is going to be very Guardians of the Galaxy, Deadpool, all that stuff. It's definitely more tongue in cheek than a lot of space video games.
I don't think,
especially
myself. I don't know if I could make a serious game. I just don't know if I could handle it. It's just for instance, I love Assassin's Creed. I play those games all the time. But that is a series, they get so serious on certain issues. And I'm just okay, calm down. I don't need a lesson in ethics right now.
I would love to work on something like that.
You would.
Love that shit. I love it. Give me all your ethics.
Hard pass for me.
And then also something that I should bring up is because we are kicking this development into overdrive now that it's out in the open, we are hiring. So if anyone out there,
as it turns out,
if
you're a mid to senior anything,
today officially we got the green light on hiring up. So if you are a developer or have any experience, we're hiring a lot of positions right now in a lot of departments. So
right now, unfortunately, we're not looking for any entry or associate level positions. But if you definitely are someone that's out there checking us out, and you're hey, I love beautiful, sunny Orange County, California.
Orange Callan.
I was going to say Orange, California, but that is a city, as it turns out, and we're not in Orange. But we are in Orange County. So if you want to come check us out, maybe you're nearby, maybe you're local, maybe you're not. Send us your resume.
You can on blindsquirrelgames.com. We have a career section, and I believe we have a career section on our new driftersgame.com. So either of those, and you can also sign up there. Also, if you're in the press, email us, and we have press kits available on our driftersgame.com. You just need a password. So those are all things that we're starting to. Yeah,
this is all part of our reveal.
Yes, reveal.
Reveal. We need more people.
Hold on. And then today we were supposed to have Dom.
That's on me.
Make a drink today.
A lot of issues going on.
We were gonna have a special Drifters themed cocktail.
Yeah, but that'll be next week. Right? It's gonna come. It's gonna come. It's just I couldn't get it today.
We're gonna keep doing the Drinking Dom.
Today! We had this.
Because no one will do our squirrel spotlights unless we offer them.
Yeah, now it's been a contingency. Literally.
Do I get to drink when I'm on your stream?
Our lead animator was I'm okay, fine. I'll make you a cocktail on stream. Would you like some more? You
sure.
Yeah. Lovely.
It's a celebration day.
Indeed it is.
So.
Yeah, fun times. But thanks again for joining us, everyone. For anyone just joining, I apologize about the stuttering because I messed that up before coming in 5 minutes before the stream started.
Which is why we were late, so we're lucky we're on at all.
Eric helped us out a lot, so again, thanks, Eric, for being here.
He waved.
And then B, again, we announced our game today. Again, this is for those of you just joining. Please go look at our Game Informer article. It shows so much more about the game that we can tell you right now. It has a lot of great info, so please go check it out.
And also go check out Vault Comics.
Yeah.
They have, all the social media. They have a website. They have amazing comics. And they're going to be doing our comic book series, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So,
they were really excited to work with us, which was super
Yes.
cool because, like, as Mimi was saying, those guys work on legit shit. And so if they're excited to do our stuff, like...
I was super excited. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Going through their credits.
Yes, I love it.
So.
Yeah. So lots of great stuff happening, so we're really excited. So again, just wanted to share for those of you maybe just coming in or tuned in within the last few minutes. Just wanted to give you that update. Again, mainly I feel bad that the camera's stuttering.
It's all Dom's fault.
It's all mine.
Dom's fault. And we have to upload this to YouTube, so it's forever going to be Dom's fault.
Yeah. It's all my fault.
It doesn't just go away in 2 weeks.
You know where I get that from? Okay, so if I say, it's all my fault, do you know who that is?
No. It sounds...
Go ahead. No judgment.
No, I don't know.
It's C-3PO. Who...
Oh!
Yeah.
Now I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, because he's always picking on R2. It's like, oh, it's all your fault.
Yeah, it's all.
And then finally, like, R2's like damaged.
Right,
like he gets shot.
And,
And he's like, it's all my fault.
Yeah, but he's okay. If you had been as like
Oh!
upset as he was, I would have gotten it.
It's so funny because loving Star Wars, like my favorite character is Darth Vader.
Jar Jar Binks.
So here's my problem. The only impressions I can do.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna defend Jar Jar and have the internet hitching.
No, I was like, what sucks for me is the only really good impression I can do. Like a lot of people like doing Star Wars impressions, like Yoda or Chewbacca. I can really only do Jar Jar. Like I can only do like.
You don't need.
Eddie!
Okay, that's good. That's good. You should.
And like 3PO. Whenever I take like the what Star Wars character are you, like I get 3PO. And it's right, like I'm a whiny bitch. Like I'm very much 3PO. Like I'm just like I like protocol, it's like, wait, we don't do this. And it's like
I feel like I'm R2.
in what
I'm
ways?
snippy and usually right. So
You speak so much truth. Oh my gosh, this explains why this is a show. Because you can just watch R2 and 3PO. I mean, they're the only ones in all the movies.
That's true.
Like, so no wonder you can see them. Oh my god, yeah, that's amazing. I didn't even think about that. No wonder this is so perfect.
Do we have any new questions?
Yeah,
Can we
sorry.
go off on our tangent?
Oh, no. They kind of tuned out.
They're just stating what you've been throwing out there.
Oh, okay,
so,
great.
We
Yeah,
can't see the chat right now, so Eric is
Again, my fault.
filtering for us. So
So we got them coming in. So yeah,
they're asking if any of you will cosplay.
Oh, as C.
it's 3PO and R2?
You'll just have to tune in. Keep it up.
I really want to know how we can do the R2. The 3PO, obviously.
Only if you wear a sexy 3PO outfit.
A sexy. I was going to say, I was going to wear skin tight. I would wear skin tight 3PO spandex. That I would do, not even a question.
I'm gonna go find like the Playboy Playmate versions of the C-3PO.
Did I ever tell you?
Mine is just gonna be a trash can. You get the sexy 3PO.
Low budget cosplay.
Low budget cosplay. I used to make Star Wars when I was a kid. My brother and I and my best friend used to make Star Wars like videos.
Yeah.
And we roped my little brother into it. He was probably like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best ones was when we made him be 3PO, and we put him in this silver sweater I had, because we didn't have gold.
I was just going to say, excuse me.
It was all we had was silver clothes. We painted his face. It looked like shit. And then we took out the wires of something probably important and taped them all over him. And we took this little trash can, and remember those tech deck like skateboards that kids used to make?
Oh, yeah.
So my brother had those, and we taped them on the bottom of this trash can. And then we like painted the trash can, and then we got fishing line, and so my brother would have to pull the trash can, and I remember it fell over in one shot, and it's just head, and my brother stayed in character. My 6-year-old brother goes, oh dear, and he's like trying to put back together the trash can.
Oh my,
oh dear,
Goodness gracious me.
Because, we were like 12, we couldn't edit shit.
Yeah.
It had to be good the first take.
You only get one take?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
For a few years ago for Halloween, I was kind of R2-D2. So at Hot Topic, they started selling underoos again.
Okay.
Now, I feel like we're a little too young for underoos, but I did know the concept, right? The underoos during the 70s were this, like, one-piece, well, not one piece. It was made to look one-piece pajamas. So you'd have, like, this T-shirt that matched, like briefs, like underwear briefs. And so, like, they did it for Star Wars. They had, like, Darth Vader, they had Boba Fett, they ended up having Luke. So I wore Luke. He had these, like, bright orange shirt in his pilot outfit with, like, the chest. And then he had the tight orange briefs. And I was like, well, I can't just wear that. So I'm like, oh, I'll put in R2. So I found R2-D2 boxer briefs. So I wore the boxer briefs.
You had your co-pilot down below. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. So that's the closest I've been to being R2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, next time. Okay, new question.
I missed the beginning, but if y'all are allowed to chat about it, when's the next time we can hear more about the game?
Next week.
Yeah, next week. It's going to be nonstop, guys. It's going to be nonstop.
Yeah,
You'll see more on our Twitter. You're going to see more on all of our social media.
It's going to be a lot of trying to get some new content up. Each week, our Twitch now is going to be a lot of Drifters stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we were kind of like treading water for a while. If you've been watching Twitch, it's been me and Dom trying to come up with like games that got us into gaming.
Yeah.
Just like, when can we talk about Drifters? Of us just playing, games, and like last week playing Alien Isolation and screaming.
Yeah.
And
that was so much fun.
It was fun.
That was so much fun.
But now that Drifters is out officially through the Game Informer article, we can focus on that now. So
you'll be getting regular content updates weekly.
Right.
So we'll post stuff here, and all of our streams we try to put on YouTube. As Mimi mentioned, as I guess we kind of both mentioned, I screwed up today's stream, and so like it's all jittery. I don't know if we'll post that, but whenever it comes back to being smooth again, we're going to start posting all those streams.
Yeah, no, we'll probably
and they'll be on
post
YouTube consistently and things like that. So yeah, so you'll be able to check stuff out. Also, again, if you just to that same person who asked when you can see more about the game, again, just to be clear, the whole reason we even announced today is because we're in this month's version of Game Informer, and that released digitally today. So it just is the perfect timing. Like, we're in this month's Game Informer, so if you have access to Game Informer, or you subscribe to Game Informer, or again, you have a GameStop near you, go pick up Game Informer. We're in there. We have a nice spread. It has a lot about the game. So you should definitely check that out.
And I guess they said that like the digital subscription is today, but the magazine should be hitting shelves this week, next week. And then also next week we're going to be doing, if you want to learn even more about the game, someone that really knows a lot is Dell, our lead designer. And so he knows everything there is to know about the game. And so he'll be our guest next week.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking to him throughout the coming weeks.
Absolutely.
He's not just doing a one-time appearance. He's going to be in and out of our streams pretty regularly.
Yeah, and then so like, and Eric's doing a great job right now. He's showing you some of those shots we had earlier in the game. So by all means, like, you can come back to this at any point in time. Like, it's going to be great to see.
Oh, that's a great idea.
This is cool feedback. Someone just posted, if you guys ever do merch, I'd love that poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna lie, a few of us have it on our phones. We
have it now, like, huge in the office. It takes up an entire wall.
That's really good to know, though. I mean, we obviously want to do it, like, this being our own first game, contract work is great. You get to work on a lot of different projects in a short amount of time. You get to work on really high-profile projects. But it's a little different because you're not the primary dev team.
Right.
So like we've never had for instance, when we worked on the BioShock collection, we didn't have like BioShock collection dev shirts or anything like that. Right. Or we've helped work on XCOM or we've helped work on The Sims. Don't get me wrong, we get great benefits. Like we get the games for free, we get other stuff, right? But like we've never had that moment of like, oh man, this is our thing. So now that we're doing that, we're figuring out what we want. I had been mainly alcohol focused, so I haven't been the best. Like, what should we do? It's like custom gin. Probably not.
We should do a custom Drifters like grog.
Yeah, that's
Drifters brand grog.
Yeah,
I'm totally fine with doing alcohol themed stuff.
So we're trying to figure out all that. Is a long way to say like we're definitely going to figure out our merch situation.
We will do merch though.
We want to promote it.
We've been talking, and merch is definitely eventually on the table. I don't know when though.
For how long exactly has the game been in development? That's a great question. So without going into too much detail, being a work-for-hire studio, we have honestly mainly worked on our IP as a kind of like side project. You could argue it's during downtime, or we've allocated maybe maybe there's a downtime between ending one project and starting another. Maybe there's downtime for a month, so we work on the project. So I'd say arguably the game's maybe been in development for a year. Something
I was
like
going to say 2, because I started 2 years ago, and you guys were already started.
Yeah, and the reason I say a year though is because like there was times when we didn't even have engineers on the project.
Well, that's true. There's
like
there was a lot of downtime. There's a complete dead time.
That's what I'm trying to say. So like it's hard to say, but we've just been in a position now where we're able to focus on it full time, and so we have a dedicated team. We're adding more dedicated team members. This isn't just
we're hiring guys.
Yeah, this isn't just a side project for us anymore. Like this is a full-time gig for us now.
But that being said, we are still doing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm not trying to say we're switching gears either.
No. We're doing both.
We love our work for hire work. Honestly, like it's great. We get
still
to
have
see
teams dedicated
so
to work
many
for hire.
cool games. And not to mention like it's just great to work with other people in the industry. Real quick, related to the game, someone asked what genre would you assign this game? It's definitely like an action arcade shooter. Like it's not, like I said, it's not Twitch based. You're not going to be there. We're going to hope this game gets competitive pickup. Not going to lie, but you're not going to be there. Like twitch of a mouse is what's going to win you the game. It's going to be very much like macro level, like how well you can literally drift through the level and.
Well, there's strategizing with different.
Totally.
Because each
it's a team game,
and each character has specific abilities, has a unique role to play. I mean, obviously they're going to be able to still shoot and stuff, but there's going to be characters that are maybe sniper based. There's going to be characters that are healer based.
And again, sorry.
Oh no, that's.
Well, I just mean like, and again, it's also third person. I forget if I made that clear. It's a third person shooter. It's not first person. But honestly, games that talk about like when we bring it up, it's like we even reference Smash Brothers. Like we like the idea.
It's mentioned in the article. Hayden mentions that. Smash Brothers is
like
a big reference.
Like we like the arcade feeling of Smash Brothers, and like it helps you. It's not just like how good are you at a headshot. That's not all what this game is about. There's definitely that component there, but it's like again, it's not just based like Overwatch been brought up. Overwatch is very much like how well can you shoot as well. It's not that kind of gameplay either. It's somewhere in between. And so you'll see a lot more of that, and again, the article does a really good job with that too.
Yeah, no, I like the hybrid kind of aspect.
Yeah, me too.
There's a hybrid aspect to the gameplay. There's a hybrid aspect to the characters. It's not as straightforward roles as traditional.
Right.
You have just one tank, but they have other abilities. It's interesting. It's unlike anything I've seen.
Another great question came in. Someone said, speaking of merch, can I buy a squirrel with a blindfold on a t-shirt? To be honest, you're the first person that's asked, and I am ecstatic that you asked. So we will work on that.
Putting that on the list.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because we are going to get merch.
We do have shirts that aren't for sale or anything. We wear them internally.
They're just like hoodies and
they're a nice design. They have our logo, but we not having our own IP, we can understand that people don't want I want the shirt of the guys who helped work on it.
No one wants our merch. So maybe if we do the game right, they'll want our merch.
Yeah. So by all means, we're happy to start putting this stuff out. So we appreciate the questions. Like definitely, we'll add this in. That's really great. So again, thank you for all your feedback. Talking about just talking about the game itself. Like again, like the genre even. Like I really do enjoy again. Obviously, you guys haven't played it yet. You'll get to. The fast pace, again, someone asked earlier a great question. What's the intended game time? 15 minutes. We want to do 15 minutes of game time, right? Like that's what we're aiming for. We're not aiming for something crazy. We don't want a half hour to an hour match or anything like that, right? We're trying to aim for 15 minutes. I think that's a big part that's essential to gameplay. All the characters are going to have their unique abilities and stuff like that. That's going to be really great. So just the idea that everything it's not going to be just purely shooter. That's obviously a big mechanic. Like it's a shooter game, but there's just so many more mechanics in terms of getting around. Like literally, the traversal is a very key component to our game, and just how you get around the map, how you use your characters. It's all very related. So
there's a lot of strategizing involved, a lot more than some of the games that you would immediately think to compare it to.
And once we talk more about the gameplay, the main screenshots we've been showing you have been from a gameplay mode called Plunder. And it's where you find plunder throughout the map. Without giving too much away, right? Like you have to basically get to these areas, and there's a little bit of PvE in that there's some turrets around the map that you can hack and get into and take to your side.
Yeah, you either get killed by them or you can hack them with other people.
So it really all plays into the idea that like you can't just, doesn't matter how good of a shooter you are. Like sometimes you might be playing as a really like low health character just because they might be more fast or they have a really strong weapon. And so because of that, like these turrets can easily take you out. So you have to like, strategize very differently. So it's all just based on the idea of like, again, how good can you shoot? There's a lot of mechanics involved and a lot of like what we like to think is arcadey. We like forgiveness. I think I've spoken on the stream multiple times about being a dev. I'm terrible at playing games. So like, I like the forgiveness element.
I'm terrible at playing games.
Yeah.
Only because I don't have enough time to get good at them.
Yeah. How many players are you expecting in a first month? I know it's a kind of hard question, but definitely something for a debate. I mean, expecting, I'm hoping for 10 million. That's what I'm hoping.
I have no idea how to predict that. That's outside
Yeah,
our
we
wheelhouse.
really-
That would be something, I mean, no, we can ask Dell that next week. He might
Yeah.
actually have a better
Yeah.
actual grasp of how one would calculate that.
Yeah. Dear sir or madam,
Dude.
it all depends on timing. We know our release market. We obviously understand games that have been announced. It's kind of like all related to that, right? It's all related to timing and everything. So there's a number of factors that come into this. Yeah, and Mimi's absolutely right. Like we can't even guess ourselves those numbers. We haven't been told and we haven't even been engaged.
Right, and we're just starting out even our launch. This was technically our first day, even though we had the teaser on Twitch a little while ago.
Yeah.
This was technically our first launch of Drifters, our first sneak peek. And so we're going to be ramping up the marketing, we're going to be ramping up the development, we're ramping up hiring, everything's getting ramped up. We're turning it up to 11.
Yeah, as it were.
So
Spinal Tap.
we'll be able to gauge that better as the months go
Yeah.
on. So
Another great question coming in for like that kind of type of question is, are there plans for ranked competitive play? Yes. I don't have details, but yes. Yeah, we definitely want it to be in the competitive space. We want there to be that element of people coming back consistently to get better or have their team that they like working with. Like we want you to be able to say, I am great at this game. So yeah, there's plans for that. I don't have details. I don't know about any of the matchmaking stuff.
Right.
I don't know about what max level will be. I don't know what rewards will be for competitive play. But yes, there will be competitive play. That much I can tell you.
right, and then like I said, we'll have Dell, our lead designer, on next week to answer more questions. But we're going to be kind of focusing on different facets each week to give you kind of a slice of different things. We don't want to give it all away too quickly here
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah, well, and there's also, honestly, there's still a lot of stuff that is honestly being worked on. Like I said, a lot of, just to reiterate some questions that came up a while ago, our economy is still being developed. Like, we don't exactly know for sure, how much things will be or, what is going to be up for sale. But, all of it, the one thing we can mention, right, is that everything that you can buy in-game, you can also unlock via gameplay. There's nothing that's going to be behind a paywall exclusively. So that's a big part of it. But, again, how you do that and how weapon upgrades work and how costumes work is all still, it's not to be determined in a sense that no one knows. It's actively being worked on.
Right.
And so we can't give you a final, this is how this is going to play out.
And actually, they may have answers for it that we just don't.
Yeah,
don't
they've
know.
been hard at work. I've been seeing our economy designer. He's been hard at work with not only our creative director and lead designer, but also our CEO.
Yeah.
So he's been in a lot of meetings trying to figure out, here's the game plan, basically. So we have a lot. As much as we love making games, we can't make them for free. So
Yeah.
we're hoping
Well,
to...
it's like anything.
Yeah, exactly. So we're hoping to, of course, generate revenue. But again, the big thing is that anything you can get via purchase with real money can be unlocked via gameplay.
Right.
That's, I think, a really big thing that we're all behind. We definitely understand that. As you #loot the galaxy.
#loot the galaxy. #ragtag team of intergalactic raiders.
Yeah.
That one's not gonna fly.
It'll get somewhere. I like the ragtag team.
Ragtag team.
It makes me think of the Rat Pack.
The
And then we have a jazz version. Oh my God! I was just thinking, our obviously devs take input. We should have skins that are like the Rat Pack.
That would be great.
That'd be amazing.
Okay with that.
Hayden, if you're watching, or Dell, if you're watching.
Rat Pack skins.
Yeah, Rat Pack skins. That'd be great. I haven't even checked what time is it. I'm totally off today because we started late.
We started late. Because whose fault was that?
That was my fault. We actually have about 5 more minutes. We'll do the full hour. But I just feel bad. I just wanted to check in and make sure I'm not droning on. But I really am excited, guys. I'm glad you guys have questions. Keep them coming. You have, again, our website is driftersthegame.com. Did I miss that?
Drifters Game.
Drifters Game, excuse me.
Driftersgame.com or blindsquirrelgames.com
Yeah.
will get you to, we
Yeah.
have that as our main page right now.
The reason I want to mention driftersgame.com is just because, again, you can go there and sign up for the email list, so be included in updates. We're going to do a beta at some point, so again, that's where you want to go if you want to play the game before it's released. And then also, in general, again, in terms of questions and comments, we're on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please reach out to us. Be gentle.
They're not. It's the internet. The internet's not gentle. The internet is assholes.
The only reason I mean be gentle is just it helps us answer questions when you actually ask a question, not just yell profanities at us. And that's fine. I'm not saying you can't. It's not like I'm trying to silence you. It's just real people read those. Another question came in: are your servers going to host games? Will we have an option for custom servers like TF2, CS:GO, or maybe something like Overwatch? That hasn't been decided. We are in talk. We are literally, that's something that's being talked about. So in the coming weeks, we can have more for you. We have not made a decision.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have servers that obviously host games, but in terms of the custom servers, I don't have an answer for you yet. I can't even gauge you. I can't even tell you most likely yes or most likely no.
Right.
I literally, it's up in discussion right now.
This is a good place. I mean, though, through the coming weeks, we're going to have more information. We're going to have more people on. So if you guys keep asking these questions, we may keep saying, don't know, don't know, don't know. And then one day we'll go, we have an answer now.
So please keep asking. In no way, I think this is a great question. I don't want to dismiss it. It's just honestly, we don't have an answer for you right now. We'll definitely find out more. Another question came up is, do you have plans for more characters after launch? So great question. Again, for those of you who are just coming in or have come within the past, 10 to 20 minutes, we haven't touched it on in a while. So the plan for launch, and you can read this in the Game Informer article, is on launch, which is Q4 of this year, which again is end of this calendar year and the beginning of next calendar year. There is 8 characters that were planned for launch. There are 4 maps. I'm not sure. Okay, there are some number of maps and some number of game modes.
Info I don't have.
Yeah,
I don't have. Don't let me
the characters is the one I remember. So bottom line is yes, there are plans for more characters after launch. We have
stuff on the docket. We have 8 at launch, and then we do want to release more characters.
Yeah,
so we have plans.
With it being a free-to-play game, we definitely the plan is for any free-to-play game, right? It's live service. So when the game launches, we're going to be there listening to your feedback, potential balance changes, just of course obvious bug fixing, any issues like that, but more so we want content. So there's going to be content coming out, and characters are our first priority by all means. Of course we'll want maps, we'll want game modes, things like that, but characters are definitely a big part of that. So yes, there's plans for more characters for sure. A related question that someone had is if those characters are going to be a microtransaction. As we've mentioned multiple times, Hayden, our creative director, said in the Game Informer article that anything unlocked via paywall can also be done in gameplay. There's nothing you pay for that also can't be done in gameplay, so that's a big part of that.
Right, so yeah.
Do we have a link to the Game Informer article? Someone just asked. Actually, we don't.
Right now it's subscription, it's digital subscribers only, and throughout the week and next week it'll be coming to newsstands, unless while we were talking they happen to release it on the site.
Yeah.
We don't have the specific article, unless if you subscribe. You should be able to get the digital subscription right now. Let me look on my phone.
Yeah, but unfortunately that means no public link. There's nothing we could give you that would give you access to the article, so unfortunately no.
Let me see.
But guys, all great questions. Please keep them coming, and thank you for those of you who tuned in the whole time. We know some of these are repeat questions. We definitely understand that there's a lot going on, so thank you for that. And then I think we'll just finish up here. Mimi, did you find out that?
No, as of right now there is no. It's not on the site yet unless you actually have the digital subscription to Game Informer. You could either subscribe or if it does come out on the site as a free article, we will definitely share that.
Yeah, that'll be posted.
It'll be posted.
So yeah,
if there's anything
that's
else.
where we're at. So thank you guys. Like, it's been about an hour, so we still wanted to stream for an hour. Sorry we got started late. That's on me. So send your comments and profanities to at sir_lord_dom at Instagram or on
You can
actually no, that's the only,
for being late and for all the hitching that's
yeah,
going on,
and the
because
hitching.
It wasn't hitching before this.
On Twitter, I'm at Comrade
Send them all
Camargo.
your hate mail.
Yeah,
Please.
I'm trying to divert it. At Comrade Camargo. It'll just be fun for me. I like reading it, and I'll reply in character. I have multiple personalities that I like playing. At Comrade Camargo. I think there's 2 M's in Comrade for some reason. No, there's only 1. I remember I spelled it correctly that time. So
Next
only,
time we'll put like your Twitter handle. Like,
yeah. Oh, it'll show up as like a
yeah.
boop.
That we're gonna have. our
But
work.
feel free to talk to me, and I'll be nice to you, and we'll talk about Star Wars or Red Alert 2. Oh wait, Drifters, right? Drifters. I can talk about Drifters now.
We can talk about Drifters now.
Before I can do that. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in today,
Yes,
guys.
Thank you for tuning in.
Send us your questions. Follow us on social media. We'll post the company social media here on the
Yes.
thing. Oh wait, it's on Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, it's on our profile. Go on our channel. It's all there.
What is?
The Twitch and Instagram.
Oh, for our site.
Yeah.
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 Because we also just launched Instagram pages, Facebook, and Twitter for
the game.
For the game itself.
Oh, I don't know
So
if that's on there.
So
So
no,
we need to
'cause
update that.
That's brand new because we couldn't do any of this before the actual announcement came out. So
Yeah.
we've been all working in secrecy.
Yeah.
And, fucking shit up.
Yeah.
But it's there now, and so we're going to.
We'll update you guys.
Yeah, there'll be updates
If you
on the
if you
main
follow
site
any
now.
of our current company, if you follow Blind Squirrel Games at all that stuff is there. So
Yeah.
we'll share it to you. All right, thanks everyone. See you
Thank
next
you.
time.